Hi, everybody. It's Glenn Ackerman with Energy Awareness Training, coming to you, presenting another class on energetic aspects of life and living and key secrets and information that we never got growing up. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Mia. Say hi to everybody, Mia. Say hi to everybody. Notice how she's getting better today. If you've been on my past videos, she was kind of shy at looking at the camera, but she's getting a little better now. So you want to say anything to the people? Oh, she sees a treat. All right, just say hi to everybody. Okay. All righty. So today we're going to talk about happiness. And that's certainly important to you, to me, to everybody, isn't it? The ability to be happy and stay happy. And it's something that we've never really thought about, actually. By the way, I am coming to you from the jungles of West Hollywood. And as we get underway, as people are coming on, as is tradition, I always show you my new flowers I got for the day. Look at these beautiful, what color is this, magenta? Probably want to say purple, magenta. Oh, they smell so good. And the yellow roses here are just, and a few red roses also. So high vibrational energy. And that's why I buy them. I keep half of them and give the other half away. It makes a big hit. Okay, and we're talking about happiness today. Today's class is going to be presented. It's interesting how this subject came up as people are coming on. Welcome, everyone. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from the videos, and the work is really getting out there all over the world. If you don't know, I have a really cool YouTube channel, which has over 100 videos on with these classes and various aspects of energy training that I do. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from it. Now, if you're brand new to my work, let me just give you the quick 2-minute intro. What I do is I teach and train on a subject called energy awareness training. My background is as a counselor, as a healer, in working with energies in all different types of disciplines and modalities. And I've been in the personal development field over almost 25 years now. And I came into it, actually, this is perfect for today's class, because I came in because I wasn't happy. Because I was trying to live a life and be happy and be fulfilled and do all the things that you would think people would do, or people think that things are going to make them happy. But no matter what I would do, there would still be this unhappiness inside me, this unhappiness that I call stress, anxiety. I had these thoughts in my head it was like a bully in my head that always wants to look at everything negatively, that always wants to inject fear or worry or doubt or any of these type of things here. So I was of the mind that if I get this, if I become this, if I achieve this, then I'll be happy. But I found out that that wasn't the case. And we're going to be discussing that today on how it works. Happiness. Now, that's an interesting subject. And how it came to be, why I chose that topic for today's class, is that I got a text from one of my, I think it's an Instagram follower, maybe it's a YouTube follower, I'm not sure which one. I'm in all the mediums, that said, Glenn, really enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Can you do a class, I think he wrote down, on apathy, stuckness, loneliness, and worry. And I thought, wow, everybody wants to hear about that. Everybody wants to hear about apathy, loneliness, fear. That's what we don't want to hear about. Everybody knows those things well. So I thought, well, how do I, obviously, and so I said, tell me a little bit more about these things that you want me to do this class on. And he said, well, you know, I'm moving forward in my life, I think he's in school, he's getting his degree, he's working in a business, and he says, I'm doing all the things that somebody my age should be doing. I think maybe he's 25, I guess. I'm doing everything that I should be doing, going after my career, making money, going to school, getting my degree, and yet I'm not happy. And I feel kind of lonely. And I feel, so part of me says, what's the use? Why continue? What's it all for? And he said, it brings certain meaninglessness, into my life. So I'm like, wow, okay. So I thought, well, what's the opposite of that? Well, the opposite of of apathy, not caring, and not caring that you don't care, or loneliness, or feeling stuck, is the opposite. In one word, happiness. Happiness. Because when we're happy, life's good. And that's what we spend all our time doing, pursuing happiness in one form or another. But isn't it interesting that of all the things that we learned in school, no one ever taught us about happiness. I took a class on U.S. history, on algebra, on geography. I don't do much with algebra. I don't do anything with algebra anymore. I don't do much with geography, a little bit with U.S. history. But most of those things that we learn in school, we don't use. The reading, writing, arithmetic, okay, we use that stuff. But so much of the things that we study, we don't use. But I'll tell you what, everybody has to deal with happiness, has to look in and deal with that subject. And it's, when people talk about it, we're kind of like, for example, are you happy? As in Chlor. Well, that's usually a yes or no. What makes you happy? How do you know if you're happy? Right? These are important questions. And we're like, well, I feel it, or I don't feel it, or like this. But let's go deeper. Because the fellow who wrote me about these things he was going through, in apathy and in loneliness and in feeling stuck, that you don't feel happy when you're there. And he said, and I've been trying to get out of it. He said, I just heard about your work and that you help people move with their energy. He says, I want to learn all about it. Well, just to wrap it up, I know this well because I went many years without being happy. And we'll define those definitions, but see if you can relate. You go through life and you're trying to get somewhere. You're here and you're trying to get over here, right? And you think, well, if I overcome my current situation, I don't have enough money, or I wish I had more money, or I wish my financial picture was better. Okay, so I'm feeling financial, stress or pressure right now, but when I get more money, that pressure is going to be off, then I'll be happy, right? Okay, that's one. How about relationship? I'm lonely, or I'm alone, or I'm single, or maybe I'm just gone through a divorce, or in a transition of some sort, and I have really nobody in my life that I'm close to, or that I can date, or that I can, share my life with, or that's a companion or a lover. And if only I had that, then I would be happy. But right now, because I don't have that, I'm lonely. I feel isolated. I feel like there's something missing, that there's a lacking here. And as a result, I'm not happy. Okay, that's a common one. Another one is I have this health challenge. And when I get to, whatever this health challenge is, I'm dealing with it, and it's painful, or it's embarrassing, or it's upsetting my routine. And when this thing clears up, then I'll be happy, right? Then everything's going to be super. So we put conditions on our happiness, right? And that's normal to do if we haven't been schooled on what happiness is. So we think happiness is a state where everything's great, right? You get what you wanted, and everything's peachy. And when you don't get what you want, or things aren't going the way you want, you're not going to be happy, right? So this is really important, and I'm really happy to be teaching this class because I think the world needs to know this information. So just to finish that piece about me, I went from not being happy and feeling stressed all the time and putting on a big show, very polite and very confident and all the things that I was doing in my business and in my relationships. But there was this motor inside me going, you're not happy. This might happen, or that might happen, or you don't have this, or you don't have that. So you're really not happy. But smile and let everybody know everything's great, while inside you feel yucky and you feel a lack and you feel wanting. It's funny, the term want, I want this, I want that. Well, in the dictionary, if you look at wanting, besides the synonym of desire, there's also a definition that says lacking, that want is lack. So whatever I want, there's a lack. So if you look at the people who say, if only I want money, I want money. If I had money, my situation would change. Or I want love. If only I had love, or like I want. So that's an energy that we're gonna go over, and that's an energy that you're putting out. So I went from stressed and not happy into a place utilizing the energy skills that I've developed and that I've learned and that I now teach, going from unconditional happiness. So I want to let everybody know what's available. And what's available, and the promise that I teach to everybody that I train in energy awareness training, is we do two things. We eliminate suffering, which is what we talked about. If only the lack, I don't know. We eliminate the suffering, and we move into a place where we can be happy, joyful, and free all the time. That's not dependent upon anything or anybody or any conditions. To be able to create the space or the energy where you can be happy, or at least proactive and positive, and be able to keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. That's our condition of what I call energetic and emotional freedom. And that freedom is to be able to be happy no matter what. Now, you can say, Glenn, is that possible? And I'm here to say it's absolutely possible, and it's probable. And I'm going to explain to you in today's class why that is. But I want to get the definitions clear first. So I was able to overcome my own negativity, my own junk, what do we call it, issues, baggage, etc., by first of all becoming energetically aware. What does that mean? Well, what it means simply is that we're living in a world of energy, and so much of life that we live in is unexplainable. Why does this happen? Why does it not happen? Why was I happy yesterday, but I'm not happy today? Or why was all the relationship that made me happy, and now it's gone? Now I'm not happy. Or I was doing great in business, God forbid, and then I was doing great in business, and then the thing went down, or I lost. God forbid that happens, but let's say that it did. In other words, there was a condition that was taking place, and you were happy when it was going your way, and now you're unhappy because it's not going your way. So that is the world that we live in here, and I call it the physical world, or the third dimensional world, third dimensional reality, which is the reality, the waking reality that we all live in. Don't mean it just walking around life, up and down, in and out, good and bad, right and wrong. There's an energetic law that I teach called the law of duality, which means that we're constantly dealing with opposites, up, down, good, bad, right, wrong, male, female, etc. And that's part of the deal being here in life. No one told us that one either. No, at school. We automatically think so much of the time, we're supposed to be happy all the time, or things are supposed to be going our way all the time, or everything's positive. Well, it's not. You guys know it's not coming your way all the time. It's not positive quote unquote positive all the time. And that's the challenge of life. And that's why I teach energy awareness training, because nobody needs any training when you're happy, right? When you're happy and things are going your way and the sun's shining and you're getting what you want, it seems natural, doesn't it? It's that when things aren't going the way we want them to, right? It's when we fail disappointment, or what my friend wrote and asked me to do the video on today. It's when you're feeling apathetic, when you don't care, when you're feeling lonely, or you're out of sorts or out of whack. That's when things happen. That's when people's lives shift and move into a downward spiral. And it can be a small one, or it can be a big one. But no one tells us what to do about that. So that's what we're going to do with the class today. I want to reveal the principles that I teach in energy awareness training, so that you can stay happy no matter what happens to you. Okay, would that be worth your time, to learn how to be able to stay happy and to stay on top and to stay connected to all that's good in you and all that's the energies of joy and happiness and peace? I'm here to say that you can. And that's what we're going to be doing on today's class. Okay, so that's a little background for those of you who are new to my work. One other thing I want to mention before we dive into the topic is understanding that because we live in an energy world, and that's the subject that I teach. What is energy? Energy is the force all around us. It's what Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. And Nikola Tesla said, if you want to really understand the mysteries of this world, you look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? So you are living in an energy field. You're constantly interacting with energy, whether you know it or not. There's nothing that you do when you're awake that doesn't have something to do with energy. It doesn't have something to do with people, places, things, activities, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Everything that we're doing, people are energy, plants are energies, activities are energies, companies are energies, things are energy. It's all energy. And why that's so important to you and to all of us is because energy has a power. It has a purpose. It has a frequency. It has a direction, and it gives you information. And that is so important when we're trying to navigate this world. You know, is this the right thing? Is it not the right thing? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I date her? Marry him? Should I? All of the things we're trying to figure out, right, that we want to benefit us, have an energy to them. And under all the energies there's two energies. There's what I call the high vibrational energy, which is a happy, joy, free, is abundant, all the good stuff. Happiness, this is called happiness. That's a high vibrational energy. And high vibration energy attracts more high vibrational energy. Well, there's also another energy that we have to deal with every day that approaches us, that both we deal with inside and outside of us, and that's called low vibration energy, or a low frequency energy. And I define that as the feelings, emotions, and things that we don't want. Anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, lack, limitation, unhappiness. That's all low vibration energy. We don't want that. But did anybody ever talk to us about what you do when you're sad, or what you do when you're frustrated, or what you do when you have thoughts in your head, this bully in your head that's constantly banging on your head going, you're not worthy, you don't deserve it, it's not going to work out, you know, you're stuck. You know, no one ever told me that, how to deal with that. And as a result of not knowing how the energies, both high vibrational energy, or positive, you can call it. I don't use the positive and negative thing too much, but for new people, just to clarify it, it's the positive direction, the happy, the light, or the negative, you know, the darkness, the doubts, all of those. So this is starting to become energetically aware that we're interacting with these forces every day. And if you're aware of how they work, you can use them to your benefit, and you can learn how to take control of your life, of your energy, of your happiness, and move in a very healthy, happy direction, no matter what you're dealing with at the moment. And isn't that what we all want? We go through this life and we're all trying to stay positive, but we have to deal with a lot of unpleasant things, right? And a lot of situations, whether it's, work or bosses or coworkers that are, that have low vibration energy, or spouses or families or relatives. Boy, there you go. Who doesn't have a relative who's a wackadoodle, and off the deep end? How'd they get that way? Why are they that way? And big mystery. So we're all in the human experience. We're all dealing with these things, and we're striving to get better, hopefully, or at least we're thinking about how does my life improve? How do I get, more money, or a better relationship, or a relationship period, or how do I get out of a relationship, or how do I improve my health, or how do I have a sense of fulfillment? So many of us have thoughts that say, is this it? There was a scene in the movie Scarface with Al Pacino, who I've met a few times, a great guy, who said, he goes, is this it? Is this what I worked so hard for? Is this just the eating, drinking? The next word, reproduction. Is this what I worked so hard for? Is it worth it? What does it all mean? So that's kind of an apathetic, virtually depressing state. It's like, thinking that we're just like life has no meaning and it all doesn't make sense, and it's just one tragic, dark comedy, and you go down that route. That's a low vibration energy route, and low vibration energy is all about pulling you out of your happiness, joy, and peace, and bringing you down into a road of suffering, of unhappiness. Those are the two factors, suffering and unhappiness, and wants to bring you down. And how far does it want to bring? It wants to bring you down all the way. So it's important in the classes that I teach that you just have this background. I go in many of my videos, I go in lots of detail about these energies, where they come from, how they work, etc. But it's on another video. I just want you to have the basics so we can go into today's topic, and just because I'm going to be referring back to energies, back to high vibration, back to low vibration energy in today's class, and that's going to help you make more sense. So again, the high vibration energy is the energy we want, the good stuff, the happiness, the joy, the peace, the fulfillment, the abundance, the creativity, the prosperity, all that stuff. That's what we want. And when we're in a high vibration energy realm, or feeling, or frequency, I call it, we're going to attract more high vibrational energy. When you're around people who are positive and who are happy and who are doing things and motivating, hey, you get motivated, you get positive, you get happy. You go to a party or a concert, you go see your favorite musician, and they're playing your favorite song, and everybody's jumping up. Remember, I took to see Billy Joel at Dodger Stadium about 3 or 4 years ago. Boy, he was playing the songs, and 50,000 people, are lighting, their phone lights and going, "Sing us a song, you're the piano man." What a trip! Talk about high vibration energy, right? Everybody was feeling good. Now, the flip side of that is, if you have somebody in your office or a relative that say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm doing all right. I got a pain in my neck and like my stomach, my thing, and I'm just it's not long before that rubs off on you." So just like high vibration energy attracts more high vibration energy, low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. Okay? So you with me on that? Let me take a moment to say hi to everybody who's come on. I want to welcome everybody. Hi, Debbie. Great news about Paul. We're going to keep those prayers coming. Hey, Gary. Gary's over in Australia. We have a worldwide audience today. My friend Gino's with me. Hey, Greg Baca, how you doing? The Beck's with me. Rowena, great. A lot of people. Gus, great. James Falk's with us. Beautiful. Hey, you guys, glad you're with me this afternoon. And if you're just coming on, we're talking about energy awareness and happiness. And we all know what happiness is, and yet there's a part of it that we don't know anything about what happiness is or how it works. So I just gave you the energetic introduction for how things work, about how we are living in an energy field, and that we are energetic, sending and receiving vehicles. So your energy field, and we're all energy, all human beings are electrical energy, is based upon our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, which leads into our behaviors. So whatever energy you're resonating in, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, whether it's high vibration, low vibration, your totality is vibrating energy, is sending out invisible energy waves everywhere you go. It's your vibe. And a lot of my skeptical friends says, you're sending out invisible energies. How can it be if I can't see it? Well, you can't see ultraviolet frequencies. You can't see the cell waves, your cell phone waves. They're all around you, but they're still here. So energy awareness is about making you aware of this hidden reality. It's a hidden undercurrent that drives everything. Everything that we're dealing with, the source of it is energetic. So another way of saying that is everything that is seen comes from the unseen, or at least was sourced by the unseen. Everything that is physical at one point was sourced by non-physical. Okay. Human beings, for example, once upon a time, our physical bodies didn't exist, right? So we didn't exist as a human being. Our energy was always there, but the container, our bodies, didn't exist. So one night our parents went out, had a great time, really enjoyed themselves, and 9 months later, we show up. So an invisible thought of, hey, let's go out. Hey, come on over. Hey, let's close the door. That thinking led to the thoughts, emotions, behaviors that create the results. So what's magic about learning energy awareness training, why I'm so thrilled to teach this, is because this is the solution to all of the quote unquote problems that we have as human beings. When we have a problem, it's a problem because we haven't figured out the answer to it, right? So there's a difference between having a situation, what's the word I'm looking for? Something that you're going to deal with that the outcome or can figure out the outcome, versus something that you don't know what the outcome is. Example, give me lunchtime soon. Okay, well, I'm hungry. Well, where am I going to go eat? Maybe you just had a nice lunch. Well, okay, well, I don't know. I know where I'm going to. I'll figure it out. I'll go either down here, I'll go down here, I'll go down there, or I'll make something at home. So there's a solution that I'm aware of to that quote unquote problem, or some people call it a challenge. However, if I'm thinking, well, I wonder what's going to happen in my life a week from Tuesday. I'm going to be attending some event, and I'm going to be meeting new people, and we're going to take meetings on that. I wonder what's going to happen. Well, you don't know what's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet. So all you can do is think about it and think about it and think about it. And the thinking process, another thing we were never taught to, can either work for us or it can work against us. I'm going to repeat that because that's important. Your thought process, the thoughts in your head, the thought processes that work are either working for you or they can work against you. And you're thinking, how can my thoughts work against me? Isn't that interesting? That's a good question. Glad you mentioned that. So let's make the point here, first off, of all, that in energy awareness, we view life a certain thing that we have, and that That which we can see, physical, we can do something about. That which we can't see controls us. So we can control what we can see, it's physical, but that which we can't see, problems, behaviors, obsessions, worry, fear, all that stuff is invisible. It's not physical. It's an invisible energy. That, unless you're trained, that will control you. And that's what controls people. So we're talking about happiness today. We're talking about happiness, and can you control it, or does it control you? In other words, are you being proactive in your happiness, or is happiness just a luck of the draw? You know, you're happy. You know, you hear people talk about, especially in songs, you know, in operas, they talk about being in love, and they have lyrics like, once upon a time I had happiness. She was here, we were together, and I knew what happiness was. That's a song I know where I know that from. It's from Memory, from Cats. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memories live again. Remember the time I knew what happiness was. Oh, so you knew what happiness was a year ago, but you don't know what it is today? Did you forget? Did you forget, or did you look upon happiness as some physical thing that stimulated you to feel a certain way? Think about that one for a minute as I take a water break. High vibration energy water. What is it? 9+ electrolytes. Good stuff. Okay, so let's get back to the question. So when you ask someone, are you happy? If I ask you, are you happy? Let me ask you guys, are you happy? Well, sure you are, because you're in energy awareness training class and you're in a high vibrational energy. So of course you're happy. But just for sake of saying, are you happy? What does the average person do? The average person says, am I happy today? Well, you know, weather's nice, sunny outside, yeah, and you know, football game on later. I had a good breakfast. Yeah, I'm happy. Sure, I'm happy. Or I ask somebody else, are you happy? And they go, I'm not happy. Well, why not? Go, my boyfriend left me, or my girlfriend said she wants to date other guys, or they're laying off people at my work. I'm not happy. God forbid it could be me. So the model for happiness, isn't it funny? Here we go through all the school and nobody ever taught us about happiness, taught about what it is, what it isn't. You know, it just it blows me away, actually. You know, 12 years of private school and college and university, and just now they're starting to study it, happiness through mindfulness. But you know, when we were kids, no way. So let's talk about this happiness. What is happiness? Okay, we're going to be talking about this in terms of energy, because that's the only way any of this makes sense. It's the only way anything in life makes sense if you look upon it energetically. Because if you don't look on it energetically, if you're just trying to figure it out, it makes no sense. It makes no sense that you're happy one minute, not happy the next. It makes no sense that good things happen for some people and God forbid tragedy happens to other people. Makes no sense. And that's where people move into what this guy wrote me about feeling apathy. What's it all about? Well, what's the use? Why even try? You know, in my office, I have a lot of people come who are tremendously famous, and you know them all: movie, TV stars, music people, people who you would think have everything. You know, you thought, hey, you've got $1 million, you got your mansion, you got, you know, or you know, you're married, or you have kids, or you're single. Or, you know, and they're not happy. And they come so much of the work I do is with people just feeling empty inside and just going, what's it all about? You know, and what triggers that? Some event usually triggers that. Maybe they lose lose a parent, or maybe their career isn't as successful as it was last year, or they feel, a sense of dread, or they keep reliving old memories and old traumas that come up that's interfering with their work. I'm just blown away. I sat across from the table. I can't mention names, but I've sat across from the table from a lot of people just going, wow, 10 years ago, I thought you were, I thought you had it made. And the reality is that every human being has to deal with this energy. Whether you call it energy or not, you can call it emotions, you can call it your feelings, you can call it your purpose, but whatever it is, all human beings have to deal with that at some point or the other. And you get faced with, what's it all about, right? What's it all about, Alfie? Why are we here? What's the purpose of this? Why do we live? Why do we die? What happens to you after you? So you have a lot of opinions about what happens. And that's where religion comes in. And not knocking religion, religion's fine. What we do here has nothing to do with religion. But that's one answer where people try to find the answers of what the purpose is. And they have certain beliefs and viewpoints about why things happen. And I'm all great. If that works for you, fantastic. Other people believe that there's nothing to believe in. There, people who are atheists or skeptics, they call them. There's even a skeptic society, and it says, there's no God, there's no afterlife, and all those. You're just a helpless little human worm, and you're gonna live for a split second, and then you go back in the ground. Okay, well, that's another way of looking at it. But if you look at it that way, it doesn't feel too good, does it? And maybe that the guy who wrote me about that, maybe he read some of those columns. But whatever they are, there's no denying that energy is a scientific reality. And I'm not talking about fossil fuels or windmills or stuff like that. No. And I'm not talking about new age, fairies, crystals, and all that kind of quote woo-woo stuff. I'm talking to you about basic science. We are energetic beings. There's no two ways about it. And that energy can be measured. Now, how it works is a little bit more subjective, because science is unable to move into the unknown because there are a lot of variables there. And it's just so important. Part of our lives that we live in is a logical, linear world. Like the guy who contacted me said, I'm doing everything, my parents told me to do to be happy. I'm educated, I got a job, I'm making money, I'm dating, and I'm not happy, and I'm not fulfilled. Oh, okay. So there's something beyond the normal day-to-day life that there's a yearning for inside us, a need to know, a need to have purpose, a need to feel that we're connecting to something or someone, etc. Now, all of that is in the non-linear or non-logical worlds that we live in. And if you've got troubles, or if you're dealing with something, you're usually dealing with it in a non-linear, non-logical way. And that includes relationships, falling in love, falling out of love, relationships. How many of you have been in relationships where stuff that happened and made no sense, or somebody would come be attracted to you, or somebody would leave you, or whatever it is? It just makes no sense. Why? I don't know. You're in the non-linear, non-logical realm. Loss, losing something, God forbid, whether it's a person, place, or thing that we're not prepared for. Hey, that shouldn't have happened. I did the thing that people should do to be happy, and this thing happened to me, which unexpected, or this setback or this loss. That shouldn't have happened. Why did it happen? And what's the result of that happening? Usually when things happen that we don't want, or away from what we expected, we become unhappy. Isn't that right? We become, hey, that's not right. That shouldn't have happened. In football, I watch a lot of sports, because sports is a great metaphor for energy. Most of sports, you can see energetic patterns take place on the football field or on the court. It's very fascinating. But one of the things you notice is that a team's trying to score a touchdown, and the quarterback throws the ball, and the guy intercepts it, and he runs back and scores 6 points the opposite direction. Called pick six. That's not what he wanted to have happen. He was trying to get the ball to the guy to make score for his point. He didn't want the other team to get it and score. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I'm not happy. Why did it happen? So do you see that this is the way life works? Great metaphor, by the way. Sports, great metaphor for life. All the analogies of trying to move the ball, or getting intercepted, or getting shut down, or striking out, or hitting a home run. Those are all metaphors for different things in life. So today's lesson, by the way, is this making sense to you guys? Hey, Dave's with us. Glad you're with us. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I got a new do. Thanks. Get one. Get one every so often, so I decided to spiff it up today. Okay, happiness. So we're talking energetically now about happiness. So we define happiness in terms of energy. And this will make all the sense to you in the world, and you'll see why I love teaching energy awareness training. Because we have two energy fields that we're in: high vibration or low vibration. Happiness, joy, peace, abundance, fulfillment, feeling whole, complete, all good stuff. High vibrational energy. Low vibration energy, not feeling good, stuck, worried, anxious, got a problem, have self-attack, self-defeating thoughts. Remember I talked about how your thoughts can turn against you? Well, I'm happy to say that you're not the only one whose thoughts have turned against them. We all experience that. We all experience thoughts in our head that put us down. A thought that you have a thought in your head that says you're no good, or that you don't deserve it, or that you're a klutz, or that you'll never be happy. Where did those thoughts come from? Holy smokes. In my own head, why am I thinking that? Now, let me ask you a question. Do you choose those thoughts? Do you choose to think, oh, I'm not worthy. Oh, I'll never be loved. Oh, life is just so tough. All of those thoughts, remember, thoughts have an energy to them. Feelings have an energy to them. Emotions, behaviors, they all have energies. Now, when you're not energetically aware, you're in a reactive place. You're in a reactive place and accepting a lot of unhappiness and misery, because there are these two forces in us, and they're constantly influencing us. And the high vibration energy thoughts you get are the thoughts that say, hey, I want to do more today. I want to be more. I want to achieve more. I want to have more money. I want to have a great relationship, all the good stuff. And all the stuff that is plaguing you is the low vibration energy. Now, this low vibration energy contacts you every day. Contacts you, it delivers, comes to you. Should knock on the door and say, hello. Yeah, low vibration energy here. Come with your daily supply of negative thoughts, negative memories, negative emotions. And our purpose here is to make you suffer, is to take you down, is to ruin your day. Let me in. Let me in. You think I'm being funny, but I'm not. That's the way it works. Every day we get a fresh delivery of new low vibration energy thoughts that don't make us feel good. And every thought we have has an energy to it. There's an energy to every thought. So if I have an energy, it's a beautiful day. I'm going outside. It's going to be wonderful. That energy creates an energy in me, and it's either a high vibration or a low vibration. It's either a thought of expansion, of goodness, of moving higher, moving out, feelings of kindness and joy and happiness, or it's another feeling of worry. How about the thought of, oh, did I leave the stove on? Did I leave the burner on this morning in the kitchen? Oh no. Now, notice that thought. Oh no. Worry, fear, anxiety, stress, doubt. And then there's a force that says, you dummy, you left the stove on. Or maybe you did. I don't know if you didn't, but you're so dumb you can't even remember if you did or you didn't. And if the stove's on, you're going to burn the whole house down. You better stop what you're doing and run home. What energy is that? That is low vibration energy, worry, doubt, fear, stress. And that thought has an energy to it. It ignites an energy inside you. Oh no. And now look at, what am I doing? I'm constricting. I'm worrying. And I have a feeling, and it's not a good feeling. So we have these two energies influencing us every day. Now, if you're energetically untrained, you'll think that those low vibration energy thoughts that are planted in your head, yes, planted in your head, are your thoughts. So when you ever have a whacked out thought, I tell my famous story about driving across the Golden Gate Bridge, from San Francisco, and there's two lanes going each way. And I'm having a great, has this ever happened to you? You're having a great day and you're listening to the voice in your head going, it's got a critique and it's got a comment on everything. So I'm driving across the bridge and it says, hey, look at that view, man. That's a nice looking view. Yeah. It says, hey, the car's running pretty good. Yeah. Man, you're probably making a good time. Yeah. And it says, why don't you cross the divider and drive head on into the other side of the cars going the other way? What? Why don't I drive in the other? I'd have an accident. God forbid, I could kill myself. Head-on collision. Why would I think that? Where'd that thought come from? That's not my thought. You get some whacked up. Wow, where'd that come from? So what normally happens is we start to beat ourselves up with, God, how could I think something like that? What's wrong with me? Maybe I'm screwed up. Oh gosh, I need to take a pill or go see someone. No, that's the process that we're all in. It's the energetic process that we're in this world. In that these energies attempt and do control us every day. But most of them, especially the low vibration energy, they work underground. It's like the iceberg, 10% above the water you can see, 90% of the iceberg you can't see. It's below the water. But the Titanic wasn't sunk by the 10% it could see, it was sunk by the 90% it could see. So the awareness, why I call this work energy awareness training, is you want to be aware of what's going on inside you. So you have an energetic operating system that's taking place inside you. And it's programmed to certain frequencies, certain vibrations, and it's reacting to the things that you've been through in your life. And some say it started, the things that you went through when you were a child. We've all had varied experiences, but all of us have had challenge, and all of us have had trauma and upsetting emotions. What do I mean by that? I mean, we've all experienced stuff that we weren't prepared to deal with, that overwhelmed us and that brought us into a place of tremendous fear, worry about if we're going to survive, worry about what's going to happen. And it could be something as regular as being made fun of in school. The teacher makes fun of you and calls you a dummy in front of the whole class. Boy, and I had that experience. Maybe you have had too, or when you're ridiculed or fighting on the playground. It can even come before that. In the science of epigenetics, it shows that a lot of the negative traits that people are exhibit or inherited from their ancestors, from your relatives. Hey, thanks a lot, great grandpa, right? Okay, so see, no one ever told us this. What? I've got an energy field inside me that's influencing me and I don't know it? How can that be? Well, I can simply illustrate it by any change that you wanted to make in your life, whatever it is that you failed at. You know, we're coming off of New Year's resolutions here, you know, and New Year's resolutions are dropping like flies. People wanted to lose weight or they wanted to stop smoking or eat better, whatever it is. Going into the second week here of January, you know, people that kept it for 1 week and now they're struggling with it. Well, what's happening? Well, this illustrates the different forces in us, because there's a force in you. I call it an energy. You can call it a motivation. You can call it a direction. You can call it a frequency, whatever you want. It's an entity or an energy that wants to pull you in one direction, right? Wants to pull you in the direction of happiness. You know, and you think, well, if I lose weight, then I'm going to be happy. Or if I eat better, I'm going to be happy, right? Okay. But there's another force that says, do it later. It's a nice day. You can cheat on your diet. We'll work out tomorrow. The inner tug of war taking place. Now, if you're not energetically aware and understand what these energies are, how they work, and how to overcome them, you'll just think, okay, I'll work out tomorrow. Yeah, okay, I'll start my diet next week. Yeah, okay, I'll put it off. Not realizing that the thought that you had to blow off your workout or to cheat on your diet or to skip doing what you committed to doing is actually an energy that's trying to influence you, to pull you in a certain direction. So important. Man, I'm giving you gold here, you guys. Please give me some feedback here and let me know you're with me on this. So you ever notice, like for example, working out? That's a big one for people. Yeah, I'm going to go to the gym, start working. Oh, great. Well, when are you going to do it? Well, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I'm going to hit the gym. Okay, great. But it'll never fail, because around 4:30 tomorrow, you'll get a phone call, or maybe you'll feel tired, or maybe you had a late lunch or whatever, and the thought comes up that says, let's not work out today. You're tired, or you're hungry, or there's a game on. Let's work out tomorrow. And you're like, okay, that's the thought that comes up. Now, if you're not aware that you can't believe everything you think, you can't believe every thought that goes in your head, because if you do, you're going to suffer. And here's an example of this covert temptation that says, you can work out today, but it's cold out. Let's wait till tomorrow. Recognizing there's a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction to that thought, and it gives you off information. And the information is, it's trying to subtly but clearly pull you into a low vibration energy, which means put it off. Don't keep your word. Don't keep your commitment. Cheat on whatever it is that you wanted to have happen, and you'll feel good. So this low vibration energy, what it does is it contacts you, and it says, I'll give you an ounce of pleasure if you'll let me give you a pound of pain. Now, I'm not going to tell you it comes with a pound of pain. You'll find that out later. So let me give you an ounce. So, it's 4:30 on a Monday, and you're kind of tired and you're hungry. You don't feel like working out, and you're going to go to the gym, but you're having the thought, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And then the thought says, well, let's skip it. Let's go have a pizza, or let's go to happy hour, or let's do something else. And you'll feel good. Okay. So you go, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So you go and do that, and you skip the workout. And then later on, when you get home at night, that same force that had you skip the workout says, what's wrong with you? You didn't keep your commitment. You had a commitment to work out today. You said you wanted to make change. You said you wanted to lose that weight. You said you were going to turn over a new leaf this year, but you're just full of BS. You didn't mean it. You got no willpower. I'm ashamed of you. Duh. That's the voice in your head saying that. And then what happens? You feel bad. You go, oh God, I should have worked out. Why didn't I do that? I shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? The big three regrets. I shoulda, I woulda, I coulda. Why didn't I do it? And then it all starts again in the morning, this whole system. Whereas in energy awareness training, we recognize everything as energies. So what's happened, and when I teach my students is I expect it. I expect resistance, initial resistance from anything that's high vibration or positive that I'm going to do in the future. I'm going to expect it. I'm going to expect that there's a force that's going to try to discourage me, try to block me, try to sabotage it, because that's what if you look around, that's what happens. And if you study the thought process and the energetic process, which I have for decades, this is the way it works. And I don't want you to believe anything. Just look and see if that happens to you. You make a commitment to do something, you start off great, and then what happens? There are thoughts that come that say, put it off, skip it, do it later. And then you do that, and you get an ounce of pleasure going, okay, I don't have to go anymore. Okay, great. That's a load off my mind. I don't have to go to the gym today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then later on, you got your ounce of pleasure, and then a couple hours later, you're going to get your pound of pain. What's wrong with you? You have no willpower. You said you were going to do that, and it's another workout you've blown off, etc. So what does that bring? It brings chaos. And this is how you recognize the energies. That process, ultimately, you know what energy you're in by the way it makes you feel and by looking at things long term. And the only way you can do that is to learn how to read energies, because energies never lie. Thoughts lie in our head. I mean, we deceive ourselves all the time by saying, oh yeah, I'll work out later. Oh, I'll work out tomorrow. Or I'll get on my diet, after the holiday, and we don't do it. And that's one of the biggest challenges that we have as people wanting to move forward. There's an actual battle with a part of ourselves, because whatever we want, it's available. You want to lose weight, it's available. You want to eat great, it's available. You want more money, it's available. You want to climb Mount Everest or Mount Rainier, or you want to go skiing, it's available. The lifts are open. You just got to show up. But showing up and dealing with that process in our heads is a big challenge, and it's a big battle that we face. And I fought that battle for 20 years and lost most of the time because I didn't know what I was dealing with. I didn't know how energies worked. I thought that this negativity was coming from me. I thought that these put down thoughts, these put down feelings were coming from me. So I didn't have a very high opinion of myself because I had a voice inside me saying, you shouldn't have a high opinion of yourself. You see how crazy it is? It's nuts. It's Looney Tunes, but that's the way it is. That's the way the energies work. So let's talk about happiness here. Is this resonating to you? Hey Mo, welcome. Happy birthday to you. Victor, Vadim, good. You guys could just give me a shout on the chat. Just say hi, where you're from. If what I'm teaching today is striking a chord, if you have any questions or comments, this is an interactive broadcast, so anything you guys have to say, I'd welcome it, and it helps me get the broadcast out. Cool. So let's go to happiness. Happiness is not a result. It's a cause. I'm going to repeat that. If you guys are taking notes, happiness is not a result. It's a cause. So what does that mean? Whether now I'm talking about long-term happiness. Okay, we all can be happy temporarily, right? 49ers won yesterday. Everybody's happy about that, right? If you're a 49er fan. Dave, I know you're a Dallas fan, but the rest of us are, from the Bay Area. We're happy about that. But next week, if they play whoever and they lose, we're not going to be happy about that. We're going to be bummed. I went to a 49er playoff game back when they were playing at Candlestick Park, and it was a playoff game. Alex Smith was the quarterback, and they were playing the New York Giants. And we were so excited. They were one step away from the Super Bowl. This is for the NFC Championship. Everybody's stoked, and everybody was rocking, and go Niners, and like this, and it was a great game. It was funny. Whenever the Niners would score, we'd all high five. We'd all high five everybody around us. But there was a New York Giants fan that was sitting to my left. So whenever the Niners would score, we go, hey, and we're high fiving, and then I come around to him, and he'd be like this. No, he didn't want to high five me. And then when the Giants scored, he's like, he's all happy, and we're all, the Giants scored. You see, it was dependent upon something happening. It was depending upon a cause. It was depending upon a result, not a cause. And what I want to reveal to you today is, the title of this talk is Happiness. Can you control it, or is it uncontrollable, or is it the luck of the draw? Your happiness comes because you recognize you're aware of the two frequencies, high vibration and low vibration energy. And you recognize that every day you have a choice to choose to direct your mind, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and what I call your inner GPS on how you're going to feel. You're saying, Glenn, are you saying I can choose the way I feel? Absolutely. You can choose the way you feel. You can choose what you want to direct your attention to. So wherever we direct our attention to expands. Whatever we focus on expands. Good, bad, or ugly. It expands. So what happens is that the low vibration energy wants to get our attention, and say, oh, the 49ers lost. Oh, isn't that terrible? Oh, it's going to be my weekend's ruined. Right? And you're like, yeah, well, okay, it makes logical sense. No, it doesn't. In the new paradigm of energy awareness, we're able to separate our fundamental energy, our fundamental consciousness from events. Listen carefully, because this is what the class is about today. This is the answer. We are intrinsically energetic beings. And that energy that we have, some call it soul energy, frequency energy, I call it regular energy, but whatever you call it, it's not dependent upon anything in the physical world. There's a part of us that when you see people who are inspiring, there's a part of this that have endured great suffering and they're still able to be happy, or they've endured great adversity and they're still able to be happy. Or as a result of that adversity, there was an awakening, something that took place and went, oh, something sparked in them. If you're familiar with the work of Eckhart Tolle, who's wrote a great book called The Power of Now, who people ask me if my work was influenced or he influenced me, and I said he knows energetically what's happening. And he talks about going through such internal suffering in his head, thoughts, feelings, emotions, driving him nuts. You're never going to succeed. You're worthless. And he said, I went through so much suffering. He goes, I didn't think I was going to survive. I was so depressed. And then he had an awakening. It stimulated something that made a shift. And he was able to shift into this place, which I call energetic and emotional freedom, where you're able to live this life and go through all the things that we go through, but maintain an energy, our true energy field that is connected to unlimited possibility, all potential, 0 point. If you're into science, is 0 point. Spirituality, some people call it God, whatever you want to call it, there's an unlimitedness, an infiniteness, an expandedness. And that frequency is high vibrational energy. Some people call it the divine presence. I just call it high vibration. When I'm in high vibrational energy, I don't have to believe anything. I don't have to attend a church. I don't have to read something. I can take my energy and my consciousness and shift into that energy at a moment's notice. In fact, I shift into that energy every single morning. And when you're energetically aware, you learn how to take control of your energy so that you're running it and it's not running you. This is where the terms proactive and reactive come from. You're taking on the energy. And so it's a decision. So every morning, I have a routine that I teach my students called energy cleansing and clearing, where you learn how to clean your energy. In fact, I did a demonstration on that on last week's class. If you want to look that up, I think I posted that I demonstrated the method to use the breath to be able to start your energy moving and clean it. Because when energy's moving, you're in high vibrational energy, happy, joyous, free. When energy's stuck and not moving and stale, you're in low vibration energy, right? So we want to stay in the high vibrational energy. So what happiness is, it's not a cause or a result. It's not a cause or result. It's a state. It's a frequency, like a channel. It's a channel that you're on. And as you learn to become energetically aware, as you learn how to clean your energy, which is what I teach, how you clean your energy every day, and how to get rid of the old stuff that you don't want, and to be able to draw down and expand the energies that you do want, you're creating a force field around you. You've heard it, the aura, a vibration. And that vibration we all have. You know, you've heard the terms, oh, that guy's got great energy. Or yeah, went into this new restaurant, man, and the vibe was just great. What was it specifically about the vibe? And most people say, I don't know what it was exactly, but it was just, that felt good. And it felt something I wanted to be more a part of. Consequently, you've gone in other places where you think, oh, I didn't like the vibe there. There's something weird or something about that. So you are already energetically aware. Even before you heard me talk, you've been using energy every day, and you didn't probably never called it energy. But there's a whole hidden realm of intelligence, a whole hidden realm of information, a whole hidden realm of meaning and understanding that lies below our conscious awareness of it. This is why I term the work energy awareness training. So every day I make a choice. If you ask me, I talked about the examples for people. Are you happy? Well, let me think. Okay, yeah, I'm happy. Are you happy? Well, this didn't happen and this didn't happen. No, I'm not happy. Don't play that game. And you can't play that game if you want to be truly happy. You can't play that game because you're going to go up, you're going to go down. Everything's fine for a while, and then God forbid somebody has to go to the hospital, somebody gets sick, or God forbid the account ran off with all the money, and one day you're rich. Remember that a few years ago? Remember Bernie Madoff? There were thousands of people who were counting on him for their retirement. They invested all their money, with the guy, and they're thinking all these years, yeah, I'm secure. I'm financially got it handled, and I'm making 20% return, and everything's great. I know this guy in New York who's taking care of my money. Yeah, until the day comes when it all goes up in smoke. And like, what? It was a scam? It was a what? What? I trusted this guy, and he wasn't what he seemed to be. All my money's gone. What the? That's when the adversity comes. That's when the low vibration energy hits. Now, depending upon your relationship, your energetic awareness, and depending upon your ability to clean and clear your energy and to create a strong energy field every day, because the people who got hit, who had that energy field, said, okay, I don't like the way it feels, but there's a part of me that's not going to be affected by this. There's a part of me that can rise above this. There's a part of me that's connected to the infinite, to the Almighty, and everything happens for a reason. So I'm going to let go. I'm going to release. I'm going to process these horrible thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and stay in high vibration energy, even though I'm dealing with X, Y, or Z. And as you direct your attention and create your energy to stay in a high vibratory field, even though you're going through adversity, even though stuff happens you don't want, even though things seem to be, nothing seems to be going your way, but if you stay in that place, you're under energetic law. And the energetic law says, no matter what you're going through, if you're in a high vibration energy field, that high vibration energy has to, by law, create more high vibration energy. Somehow, some way, it has to, because it's a scientific fact. The frequencies attract the same. But if I allow, my happiness is based upon results or things occurring, then I'm happy one day, I'm not happy the next. I'm happy today, I'm not happy tomorrow. Today's happiness leads to tomorrow's sorrow. Tomorrow's sorrow can lead to more sorrow, God forbid. And it's just, you're like a ping pong ball going back and forth. You can never be truly happy. And that's why so many people are trying to figure out things in this three-dimensional world that don't make sense, because so much of life is hidden. It's another thing they didn't tell us. So much of life is hidden. We don't see the whole picture. Remember I said we live in a three-dimensional world? Well, science says that we live in a 10 or 12-dimensional world. And if that's the case, we're only seeing maybe 10 or 20% of reality. Maybe 30% if you want to go higher. That means that 70%, 7 out of 10 things that are happening, we don't see it, we're not aware of it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. So many of the times when we worry about something, there's a part of us that wants to think of the worst thing that could happen, right? Whoa, I'm trying to think of something. People are thinking, oh, economy is going too good. It could be a bubble, it could burst any minute. Well, that thought doesn't feel good. And if I keep thinking that, I'm going to start, watch the sequence how this happens. The economy could be a bust. Things could shift. God forbid. We could go into a recession. If I go into a recession, maybe I could lose my job. If I lose my job, I could lose my house. If I lose my house, I'll be out on the street. I could be out on the street any minute if there's a recession. Oh my gosh, it's just horrible. What's that? That's low vibration energy. Where did it come from? It came from a thought that created a feeling, that created an emotion, that affects my behavior. Now, 9 out of 10 things that we worry about, maybe 9.5 things that we worry about, never happen, right? You're worried, oh, what if this happens? But it doesn't happen. Oh, I was so worried. You remember with your mother, when you were a teenager and you get home late and you're supposed to be home at 10, you come home at midnight and your mother goes, where are you? I was worried sick. I thought you were in an accident. You're looking, you go, wow, why were you worried? I was just, I should have called. Sorry, we were having a good time and everything's fine. I go, you worried yourself into a tizzy. Why'd you do that? Well, it was just why did they? Because we have a tendency when we're faced with the unknown to move into negativity. We have a tendency when we're in a space where we don't know what's going to happen to automatically think about the worst thing. Oh, but what if this happens? I had a friend of mine was thinking going over to Europe for a vacation this summer. And one of the guys, I heard him telling people, you want to go over there with all the bombings and all the chaos and the Brexit and all the immigrants and the population and the crime and oh God, I wouldn't go over there. The guy's like, yeah, well, maybe I should go over there. Oh, really? Is that happening for everybody? in Europe? Does it happen in every country? No, it's not. So, but this is how the energies work. So if there's the point I want to make on this class, is I want to alert you and awaken you to your happiness is dependent upon the state and the energy frequency that you decide to be in every day. I'm going to repeat that. Your happiness, your long-term happiness, it means the ability to stay happy, joyous, functional, productive, no matter what's going on, is directly linked to your ability to make the decision every day. Because happiness is a decision. It's not an outcome. It's a decision. So I choose to, things happen. I choose to be happy anyway. I choose to let go and use the energy. It's not just a mental concept. That's the first thing, is a decision to be happy. And the next step is learning the energetic methods to let go, release, clean, clear all the low vibration energy inside you and replace it by expanding the high vibration energy in you. So that you're everywhere you see, there's beauty everywhere. So you're conditioning to see the beauty, and you're looking for it, because whatever you look for, you're going to find. Whatever you look for, you're going to find. So if your guidance, your mental GPS is that there's no good women in LA anymore, they're all crazy. Well, there's no good men in LA for dating or marriage. They're all nuts. That's what you're going to create. You can't create anything more, because that's your belief. And those are the lenses, those are the glasses that you're seeing the world through, the beliefs and the energies that you have. Oh, this is the way it is. And you're going to be right about it, because that's what the low vibration energies partner in crime called the ego wants. It needs to be right. I got to be right about it. And if you have a belief about something, good, bad, or ugly, you're going to create that and say, see, I told you. Your energy frequency is going to attract that situation to you. And this reveals the mysteries of why things happen. You know, I do a lot of work with people in relationships, and they're all, you know, I attracted this girl and she was great and everything was going to work out. And then she was bipolar and she had these problems, and all of a sudden blew up. I couldn't take it. We broke up. I went through a heartbreak, and man, what a whack job she was. And I say to him, yeah, and out of all the millions of women there are, you attracted that one. No coincidences in life. Everything comes to us as a gift or as a message or as a lesson. If you're taking notes, write that one down. Everything comes, I'm going to write that down. That was a good one. Everything comes to us as a gift, a message, or a lesson. And that's stuff that's good, stuff that's bad, especially stuff that's ugly. And particularly the stuff that we don't want. Get that out of here. Why do I have to go through this? There's a gift there. There's a message, and there's a lesson. But if you're not energetically aware, you think, oh, I'm just a victim of life. I'm a victim of life. I'm a victim of love. Life's doing it to me. No, it isn't. And that's what I thought. And when I went into my awareness and my own personal transformation and became energetically aware, I learned how to be in harmony with the energies that are all around us. And when you're in harmony and you know how things work, when you know what good energy is, when you can spot it in people, places, things, business deals, investments, places to live, you know, sports, etc., and you can recognize the low vibration, the dangerous energies, the dark energies that come to us in people, places, things, activities, investments, etc. There's a lot of traps out there. But if you're energetically aware, you can navigate the traps, and you can be happy all the time. And now somebody says to me, well, Glenn, you know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I had this happen to me. I had this tragedy happen to me. I lost somebody who was important to me. Or my 401k plan, which went down the drain, or I had this catastrophic thing happen to me. How can I be happy? I have a friend that I know who his ex-wife stole all his money. At least that's what he says. He says, Glenn, how can I be happy? You just took all my money. I can never, how can my life saving? How can I? Oh, okay. How can you? Isn't that a good question? How many people think that's a good question? Because I had this happen to me, how can I be happy? How many people have had that happen to me? Give me a shout on the chat if you had that happen to you. Hi, Debek. Jose. Sure you have. and I had it happen to me too. How do I get over the bad stuff that happened to me when I was a kid or as a teenager or whenever it happened? Your circumstances, or dealing with an abusive parent or a friend or somebody who took advantage of you, etc. How can you be happy when that happened to you? That's the number one question out in the world today. It's the number one question. And I have to tell you from my heart, I'm trying to bring this work out to people because there are people suffering. What's post-traumatic stress syndrome? PTSD. It's serious trauma and ugliness that soldiers saw out in wartime. War is trauma. War is ugly. War is the height of low vibration energy. Hurting, anger, shooting, violence, that's all low vibration energy. What does low vibration energy bring you more of, class? More low vibration energy. So you come from this energy and you have you've been through these horrible things that includes, molestation and child abuse and sexual abuse and all that. You come through all this stuff and you don't know how to handle it. That's the very definition of trauma. You don't know how to handle it. It's overwhelming. You've never seen anything like this before, or you never had anybody to do something to you before, and you don't know what to do. You're overwhelmed. So what happens is the body shuts down when that happens to you. It shuts down and goes into a survival mechanism. Even though, like the iceberg, the 10% above the water, everything's normal, everything's fine. Below the surface, there's stress, there's anxiety, there's worry, there's bad memories, there's regret. And that is your operating system unless you know how to clean it and get that stuff out of there. That's the way people are going to operate. And you see people who, you have, vets who are in the Vietnam War. What was that, 50 years ago? And they were never the same. That something went out of whack and they weren't able to function, or they had nightmares or got on drugs. People coming back from the Gulf Wars, they say there's an average of 25 soldiers committing suicide every day. Holy smokes. Why? Because of the energy that keeps playing inside them that's low vibration energy. Remember I said at the top of the class, low vibration energy creates more low vibration energy. And that energy is purpose. Remember I said energy has a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction, and it gives off energy. Well, the power of low vibration energy, of that PTSD, of that trauma, is to take you down, is to close you up. So that's a power, that's a purpose. What's the frequency? It's very low. What's the direction? Going down. What's the information? The information is the spin according to the low vibration. What sucks? I'm messed up. I'm never going to recover. I can never be happy again. I can't sleep. I can't eat. What's the purpose of living? And then that's the ultimate low vibration energy prize. Get you to take yourself out. Well, the good news here is that when you're energetically aware, those things can be affected when you change your energy. When you change the energy vibration from a low vibration to a high vibration energy. And that's what I do in the trainings. That's what I do in my one-on-one coaching and healing work, is I work with people to change the energy, because nothing changes until energy moves. That's my motto. Nothing changes until energy moves. So you can talk about your problems, and you can talk about what you've been through. You can talk about how they did you wrong till you're blue in the face. But as long as it's thought, as long as you're just thinking about it and there's no action, it's going to remain the same. So it's making sense to you guys? I got one more part I want to do, and then we're going to call it. How do you move? Hi, Deb. How do you move out of a very negative business situation? Okay, good question. So this is an example of the work. When you got into that business situation with that person, you thought that they were honorable, or you thought that you could work with them, or you thought that this would have a happy ending, based upon your third dimensional consciousness, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel. Sound like a good idea. Now you got involved, and the situation has changed, which is another way of saying the energy's changed. And now you saw things you didn't see in the beginning. Or maybe you thought, you know what, I saw that, but I didn't take it seriously, or I should have known, or now you're in a situation that sucks. And now it could be adversarial, which is a low vibration energy. So here's the thing. It even says this in the scriptures. It says, when you're dealing with low vibration energy, people, places, and things, the first step is to get away from it. Get away from it. If I walk into a bar, somebody takes me to a bar and I'm surrounded by gang members or bikers or, low vibration energy ilk, I'm not going to try to convince everybody in there to be a nice guy. I'm not going to try to talk to these, stand up and say, hey, we should love thy neighbor, not sell drugs and not hurt people in fights. And I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? They're not going to listen to me. And I'm in a low vibration energy environment. What have I taught you? Low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. So if you're dealing with someone and it's probably, it's on money, they didn't do what they say they're going to do, they're going to, you might have to go into litigation, might have to all this. You know what? I recommend that you do everything you can do in the physical world to protect yourself or to get your money back. But energetically, cut it off. Have nothing to do with them. In fact, I've walked away from financial situations. When I trusted somebody, it doesn't happen too much anymore, but I trusted people and they took advantage of me. That's what con people do. They take it, they gain your trust and they take advantage of you. And it's low vibration energy. Well, I decided to smarten up, and now I can read the energy of everybody I'm working with. So I know if somebody's telling me a lie or not. I can tell energetically. So maybe a couple of suggestions for you. Number one, it's a wake-up call for you to expand your energy awareness so that doesn't happen to you again. And maybe you can help somebody else, warn them that when these things take place, there's potential chaos, potential short circuit or failure coming along. You want to avoid it. The next step is to be able to do everything in your power to make sure the thing's right, but have the ability to walk away from it. Because no amount of money is worth your health. And no amount of money is worth letting somebody pull you into a low vibration energy frequency. I know it. I remember this one guy that I had trusted. I'd known the guy a long time. I trusted him with some vehicles of mine. And I thought I knew the guy 20 years. He's always taken care of me before. Found out he was ripping me off for a lot of money. Okay. Well, it didn't feel good. But I thought, okay, you know what? I worked with the guy because I trusted him and because I thought he was a friend of mine. And when people show you who they are, believe them. He just showed me who he is. He showed me that I can't be trusted. I don't want to do any more business with him. I don't want to be friends with him anymore. I wish him the best. No negativity on my part, but the universe is showing me this, the energy is showing me this person can't be trusted. So stay away from him. Sever all ties. I walked away from a lot of money. I don't care. I don't have them in my life anymore. And it's not affecting. That low vibration energy is not pulling at me. So without knowing the specifics, Debbie, I hope that helps you. The bottom line is it's all about energy. It's all about what's money? Money's an energy, and it's an important energy, and it gets our attention, you know, when it's lost or when somebody tries to take it from us. But it's also an energy for good. So if there's a matter of money involved, you know, what I advise my students is go make a tithe, go contribute some money to the homeless or to your spiritual center or your church or somebody who's doing good for people. That's a high vibration energy that will attract more what? More high vibrational energy. It's all energy, folks. It's not about the money. It's not about the person. It's about the energy. It's about you. Are you going to make a decision to keep going and to stay, to first of all, to be in and stay in high vibrational energy no matter what the other person's doing? Or are you going to allow this to take you down? Are you going to let this make you bitter and ruin your whole day, your whole month? Some people will say yes. I say no. I say be energetically aware, learn how your energy works, be fluent in the ability to shift your vibration, and then you'll win. And then you look back on this thing and like, that's a lesson. It cost me X amount of money a lesson. That's how I look at it. That all the money I give that guy was a big lesson I learned. Big lesson. And I learned that I can be resilient and I could keep coming back and stay in high vibration energy, even though it wasn't what I particularly wanted. It all came around and I got the money back some other place. And it's all working for your benefit if you will allow it to. If you put yourself in the frequency, it'll all work out to your benefit if you allow it to. But if you're in the low vibration energy frequency, then you're connected to the energy that wants to assist you feeling bad and moving down, and you won't recover from it. It'll be a splinter in your finger every time you think about it. Now, when I think about the guy, good. I hope he enjoyed the money. Good. I don't have to deal with him anymore, and I wish him well. No negativity from my part. Wish the guy well. I know he's going to have to deal with his karma, so good luck to him. I'm going to continue dealing with mine and moving up. Okay. Great. What's my opinion about dreams in the relationship to overall happiness? Can we control our dreams? It is the last question, and we're going to pack it in. Dreams are interesting things. I teach when we go to sleep at night, our energy or our souls leave our bodies. They leave our bodies energetically and they move to a higher realm. This is a whole nother class, but it's another realm of doing two things: cleaning and learning. Cleaning, clearing, and learning. Now, some of the dreams we have make sense. Some of them make no sense. Some of them are like whacked out. So it's the same thing. Dreams are the same thing as energy. You've got energies, you've got chaos energies, you've got energies of order, you've got energies of peace, you've got energies of violence, you've got all kinds of energies, just like you have all kinds of dreams. Now, some of these dreams are messages. Yes, indeed. Some of them are messages to you. I've gotten messages in my dreams. Others are your energy processing all kinds of different stuff. And when you come back into your body a couple of different times during the night. So when you come back, anytime you come back, there's an energetic opening. So there's a space when you leave and there's a space when you come back. That's why in the morning, it's so important for you to realign your energy and for you to get yourself into energetic alignment, because you've just come from you've just taken a trip and you're back inside your body, and the adjustment period is somewhat chaotic. That's why we have negative thoughts in the morning. That's why we have worries and, oh, what if this happens? And what if that? It's like the worry machine starts the minute you wake up for a lot of people. That doesn't need to take place if you use the energy tools that I give you. I teach you from the minute you wake up to start moving the chaos, the low vibration energy out, and to start moving the high vibration energy in. So what you want to do is move that. So by the time I call it your energy exercise platform, where we do specific skills on top of each other to learn. So that by the time you leave your house, you're vibrating in a complete high vibration energy frequency. And isn't that what you want to do when you leave the house? If you don't do anything with your energy, as most people don't, then you walk out of your house unprotected, or in whatever particular energy befalls you, good, bad, or ugly. You're in a commute traffic. Traffic's not moving. You're going to be late for work, or somebody cuts you off, or you spill the coffee, and any of the thousands of things that cause us stress and anxiety. We can't avoid stress and anxiety because that's what you get as part of living. But just like you can't avoid sweating, that's part of living. You get up, your body's going to get dirty. So what do we do? Well, we clean it every day. We clean it and we process it to make sure you're ready for the next day. But if you don't clean your energy, and most people don't know how, then it accumulates. Just like if you skip a day, you don't take a shower. Okay, well, you got yesterday's dirt coming into today. And if I don't take a shower tomorrow, I got today's dirt carrying with me tomorrow. And if I don't take a shower till next week, I've got a whole week's accumulation of dirt. You know how that is. Don't take a shower for a week. What's going to happen? Probably nothing good. It's the same thing with your energy. You got to clean that energy out every single day. And if you don't, it accumulates and it accumulates. And that's why the numbers were just announced here nationally that stress and anxiety and panic attacks are the second largest disease in North America. Stress, worry, anxiety, epidemic proportions. And what does that lead to? A drug epidemic, of people trying to take drugs to stem that anxiety, stress, and worry. Well, we have a better way in energy awareness training. We say, learn how to use your energy and life becomes good. You can deal with any problem that comes your way. You can deal with these feelings and the emotions that try to take you down, and you're on top of it. And that's the message, that's the gospel that I'm preaching. That you can be energetically aware and learn how to be happy all the time. And your happiness doesn't depend upon a certain thing happening or not happening. Now, yeah, if you get great news, something happens, your favorite team wins, or you win some money or something, yeah, you're going to feel more intensely happy. But you have to learn how to be able to stay that way if it doesn't happen. Okay, if you don't win the money, or if your team doesn't win, or it's not sunny outside. This is what it means to be energetically aware. So what I want to mention to you is, first of all, I hope that answered your question, Victor, about dreams. I would have a journal and write down your dreams. If you're interested in dreams, categorize your dreams. So when you have a real intense dream, write it down. If you have whatever it is, good, bad, or ugly, write it down and see what the messages are that are coming out. I've had clear messages that have come to me on things I was working on. I even got to see someone, I don't know if I should share this, but in my dream, I got to see an old friend of mine who had passed away about 10 years ago. He visited me in a dream. You want to hear something wild? So this is a friend of mine. We've been friends 20 years, and he passed about 10 years ago. And I love this guy. He was a dear friend of mine. He was a Holocaust survivor. And he had been through some real tough times, real tough. And he was a walking ball of stress energy. I could see it in him when I was around him. I go, man, you are stressed. I can even feel your anxiety and stress. He said, it was all that stuff that happened to me in the camps. He says, if you only knew what I went through, I said, well, what did you go through? He goes, I can't even talk about it. I can't even, it was so bad, I can't even talk about it. He says, I got to keep that stuff down so far so that I never think about it or deal with that again. And I told him, that's not sustainable. You keep that stuff down, it's like battery acid inside you. And eventually it's going to eat you away. You've got to learn how to do that. Now, this some years ago, before I'm doing the work I was doing now. So I said, I know how to help you if you let me. He goes, no, I can't let it up. Well, the good news is that Steven Spielberg's company approached him, and he did open up, and they filmed him talking about his whole story. And I've heard bits and pieces about it. He was kind of like a mini Schindler. When he was a teenager, he helped save about 40 kids from extermination by hiding them in this hospital. It's a great story. I'll talk about it sometime. But he passed away, much too young. Why? Because that low vibration energy, that stress, worry, and doubt that he'd accumulated since he was 13 years old kept eating away at him and eating away. And one day, it just ate so much away. It ate away from him so much. His immune system was compromised and his living systems were compromised, and he passed. And that was a big wake-up call for me to understand this work. So, gang, it's all energy related. Everything that you do is energy related. So the most important thing you can do this year is to learn and commit to studying energy awareness and energy awareness training. I'm here to help you. A lot of planes flying overhead today. Hope they're friendly. But anyway, I'm here to help. This is what I do. I'm getting the word out through video, through all kinds of media channels, that people can be happy and people can be in control of their happiness, and that whatever you're going through, there's a solution. And boy, my dream is to be able to teach this to kids, because if I had known this, I would have saved myself 20 years of suffering, 20 years of anxiety and stress and worry. Wow. But I didn't know then. So I had to go through it. But I didn't want to, but I did. And you know what? It was a good thing, because not only did I learn how to heal myself and how to move through and to become aware of energy, but now I learned how to help other people too. So whatever you're going through, there's a way out. No matter how you're feeling, there's a way out. You can be happy. And that's what this work's all about. So I invite you to take the first step. Contact me for more information, or for any of the courses, or information about coaching. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. You can messenger me here on Facebook or on YouTube. I have a channel with many videos. I'm also on Instagram. If you like this video and you know someone who could use it, by all means, share the video to people. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. And with that, let me just check if there's any more questions before we say adieu. Live vibrantly, you bet. All right, you guys, I really appreciate you being with me today. I hope this has helped you a lot. And stay tuned for more energy awareness training coming up to you very soon. Remember, nothing changes until energy moves. So let's go move some positive energy today. If you didn't get a chance to say hi on the chat before we go, I'd appreciate you doing so. And I'm going to put my website here so you can look me up. Those of you who haven't seen the site. It's energyawarenesstraining.com/get-unstuck. Cool. All right, everyone. Have a great day and a great week. Lots of love and blessings. Bye for now.